Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Jamie the Crafty DIY Guy. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you some fall DIY projects that I'm super excited about. All of these projects incorporate items from Dollar Tree, Hobby Lobby, Michaels, and very similar stores. Now, in each of these projects, I'm going to also offer you some alternatives. So if you can't find one thing at one store, maybe you can find something at another store. But before we get into those DIYs, I do want to say, of course, thank you to my subscribers. You guys know who you are, my long-termers, my short-termers, everybody in between, my OGs, which just means my original gang. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I hope that you love all of these projects as much as I do, because I'm really excited about all of these projects, and I think that you will be too. All right, let's get into it. All right, everyone, and for project number one, I'm going to use 2 of these wooden trinket boxes from Dollar Tree, as well as 2 of these wooden stems that were also from Dollar Tree. The first thing I did was take my boxes outside, and I'm just going to spray paint them with this rustic orange spray paint from Rust-Oleum. This is probably my favorite paint to work with. You could certainly use chalk paint or an acrylic paint, totally up to you. The next thing I did was take my boxes inside, and I am just going to glue the wooden stems right on top of them. And I'm just using an all-purpose glue by Surebonder. This worked perfectly fine. You could also use wood glue if you didn't want to use your hot glue gun. Either one will work perfectly fine. Then I'm going to take these little leaves that were left over from a Dollar Tree floral project that I had been working on an earlier project. I'm going to add a little bit more glue down to this guy and just kind of smush him in the corner there, just giving it that leaf effect. And then I'm going to do the same exact thing for that leaf on the other side. Once those leaves were dried and in place, I wanted to add a little bit of pizzazz, I guess. So I'm going to add some bows with this green twine. This green twine I did pick up on Amazon, and I'm having trouble saying the word twine. And I just put it in the corner there. I don't know, it kind of felt like it was like almost like a cute little headband or something on that jack-o'-lantern. So once I repeated it on the other side again, I thought that these were just so adorable. I could easily see how you could use these for your fall decor. You could easily transition these into Halloween decor as well. I think that they'd also be very cute with a battery-operated tea light inside of them. I'm really obsessed with them. I think that this is probably my favorite so far. The next project, I'm going to be using this grapevine wreath form that's in the shape of a pumpkin. I picked this up at Hobby Lobby. I think it might have been from Michaels. You could also use the Dollar Tree pumpkin wreath form. That gather sign is from 99¢ only, and that's one of those signs that I picked up when I did a shopping haul in Los Angeles a couple months ago. I think it was last month. So just a couple coats of my rustic orange spray paint once again on that gather sign, and while that was drying, I'm taking my floral picks. Now, some of these came from Michaels, some of them from Hobby Lobby, and I think some of them were from Dollar Tree. So I kind of just grabbed a mix here from my stash that I had at home. And to get all of these adhered to that wreath form, I'm actually going to use twine. I'm going to use twine and just simply tie these on there. What's so great about that is that you can go back through and cut the twine off and put different florals on it. You could make it a little more scary or a little more creepy, maybe for Halloween. You could make it more fall festive. You could make it, winter. You could do a lot of different things with it, and it's a great way to kind of preserve your, any of your wire wreath forms or your grapevine wreath forms, really any of them. And the picks are so great because they're already put together. I do kind of fluff them a little bit, and they've got wiring and different things in them, so it's pretty easy to manipulate them and kind of tie them and bend them and get them in the right area. I was going to say the bend and snap them, but if you ever watch Legally Blonde, then you know where the bend and snap comes from. But again, I'm just taking my picks here, and I'm literally just kind of assembling them around. I will trim down any of these really super long stems if I need to. And but once again, I'm not doing much at all to these, and it is really cool. Now, I will say that I wish I had 2 more of these larger stems from either Michaels or Hobby Lobby. I forget which one they came from, because it's kind of off-centered a little bit, I feel like, just a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead in with some Dollar Tree picks and just kind of, fluff it up a little bit and just try to kind of get some balance going on there. Now, once I had the picks and everything all tied into place, then it was time to add the gather sign. Now, for the gather sign, I did go ahead and add some hot glue to that. And the gather sign is actually made out of a pressed cardboard, so it adhered really nicely to the grapevine wreath. I didn't have any problems at all getting that to stick there. And then once I had that done and it was set and it was dried, I loved the way this looked, especially against my yellow door. I think that this is a great way to kind of kick off the fall season and get ready for everything fall DIYs. And I don't know, I think that I might end up redressing this one up for Halloween and kind of carrying it a little bit longer than just kind of fall. Now, this last DIY is actually going to be really, really easy. First thing I grabbed were 4 letters that spelled out the word fall. I did grab these from Michaels. I also have these frames here that are the 5x7 size, and then I grabbed some fall-esque scrapbook paper, or scrapbook paper that I did pick up at Michaels. The frames, by the way, did come from Dollar Tree. So this is easy to replicate. So the first thing I'm going to do is take all of this plastic and all of this jazz off of here, and I am going to remove that insert that's inside the frame there and get these ready to start DIYing with. I am going to go ahead and pause for a second. I'm going to take my letters outside. I'm going to spray paint them, again, my favorite paint, and use the Rust-Oleum just flat black matte spray paint here on the letters itself. I did go ahead and kind of do some light coats, and then I went back in and did a second coat on these. They turned out really well. With the way the sun and everything is shining on this, it almost looks like that they're metal, but trust me, they're black. You'll see that once they're all done with the completed DIY. Don't you love the shadow there of my hand over top of everything? All right, so once everything had dried, it was time to go inside and start working on the actual scrapbook sheets themselves. Now, what I did was I found 2 different scrapbook pages that I liked that kind of complemented each other. I took the inserts of the frame and then just put them kind of where I thought I might like to, use that pattern. And then I'm just going to trace it with a pencil here. I'm just using a colored pencil. And then I'm going to take that pair of scissors and I don't know why I said that pair of scissors, because you still see me tracing here. But after I've traced around the frame, and then after I've got everything all set up, I am then going to cut with my scissors. Now, I'm going to have 2 frames that are going to have this particular pattern, and then I'm going to have 2 frames that have the other pattern with them as well. So I'm going to go ahead, cut these out, get these ready to go, and set up my frames. And I'm going to have 2 frames with the kind of a plaidish pattern, and then I'm going to have 2 frames that have the larger leaf patterns. Now, once those are all dressed and ready to go, it's very simple to just kind of add your sheets of paper. Now, I am putting the scrapbook paper in the frame, and I'm putting the glass back in the frame as well, because those letters that we were working on outside, we're actually going to be gluing those to the outside of the frame. So now that I've got all of my scrapbook paper ready to go, you can see here kind of what we're going for. Now, I do want to connect all of these frames, and I'm going to connect these kind of in a different way. I didn't have any little hinges or anything. So what I'm going to do is kind of trying to stand them up end to end here and kind of make them almost like an accordion, I guess. So I'm going to use 2 of my larger pillar candles to kind of keep them in place. Then I'm going to take a piece of nautical rope and I'm going to separate it into 3 pieces. So once I have my 3 individual pieces, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of move my candles out a little bit to kind of, let it collapse like that there. And then I'm going to stand them up again and get them at a point where they are almost like a 90-degree angle, I think is kind of what I'm going for. And I am going to go ahead and just add a very generous amount of hot glue right down the center of that. Now, trying to get most of it on the sides versus in the crease there. Then I'm going to take my piece of nautical rope and I'm just going to place it down in the crack there, or in the V kind of shape where I added all of that hot glue. And I am going to go ahead and spread this out just a little bit more, kind of make it more of a 90-degree angle. And then once that glue has hardened, I will go ahead and stand that up, let it dry a little bit more. And then I'm going to repeat the process on the other two frames as well. Now, for this particular one, of course, here I ran out of my hot glue, so I have to add my hot glue back. So once I've got that going, then you will see me add another piece of rope. We're going to just repeat this process, and then I'm going to join the 4 frames together, making them 8 frames in that same kind of accordion pattern, if you will. So hopefully that's making sense, and you're not thinking I've totally lost my mind right now. Once this is all set up and dried again, now you'll see where I do kind of join them back together again. And the idea here is that these are going to kind of keep in that zigzaggy or kind of that accordion way. And here again, just kind of doing that same exact motion, adding some glue in there, and then adding another piece of my nautical rope in there just to kind of go ahead and keep this process. And then once you've got everything dried, now it's going to look like this here. Now, I played around with the formation of my paper, and I kind of liked having the 2 leaf patterns in the middle and then the 2 on the outside. Now, the next part, unfortunately, I was a bonehead and didn't film, but all I did was just glue my letters right on top of the glass. And as you can see here, it creates such a cool, cute little fall decor. I think it would be really, really cute to add some twigs and maybe make some little stems or something on top of each one of these frames. I thought that this was super, super cute, and imagine all of the ways that you could customize this for your own family. I even think you could put family photos or something behind this too. I think it could be really, really cute, and there's a lot of really fun DIY ideas that you could do using this very exact same concept for some of your own projects. Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed these projects today. Let me know which one was your favorite in the comments below. Also, be sure to follow me on TikTok, Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all of the things. And I hope to bring you more projects and fun content soon. Thanks everybody. Bye-bye.